well. Massart is going to make up the line. Stand by for a start for the Investec Derby of 2016. And they're off racing. Humphrey Bogart a little slow out, and US Army Ranger is restrained in the early stages as stable companion Port Douglas heads on into an early lead in the blue cap. Shogun is handy. Ulysses up with the pace, quite keen early on, followed by Moonlight Magic in the white cap on the inside. Out wide, Cloth of Stars with Massart, who are tracking Port Douglas now second and third. Algometer is not too far behind the leading group in about 9th or 10th place. Chasing them up is Idaho, just behind Shogun. Then in the midfield, Biodynamic, Tarzan to the outside, Across the Stars on the inside. And then towards the rear of the field, Wings of Desire held up with US Army Ranger, Humphrey Bogart, and Red Verdun is now the back marker. Up the hill, and Port Douglas, very stoutly bred, applying the pressure. From in second place, Cloth of Stars. The pace looks honest, it looks severe. Followed on the inside by Moonlight Magic in the white cap. Godolphin second and third. Massart handy in the blue and white striped cap. Out wide, the sweaty Idaho, followed by Shogun and Across the Stars and Tarzan and Ulysses. They're Biodynamic, and after these, Algometer the grey. On the inside is Deauville in the pink and green jacket from Wings of Desire. Frankie Dettori in the maroon silks, and then follows US Army Ranger, Humphrey Bogart second last, and finally Red Verdun. They swing left-handed at the top of the racecourse. US Army Ranger having gone off the 7-2 favourite to win the Derby. Port Douglas has gone clear of the field on the descent now towards Tatton Corner. A good 5 lengths clear of Cloth of Stars in second. Moonlight Magic is being scrubbed up on the inside. Massart still handy. In behind them, Idaho and Biodynamic. Then Ulysses from Tarzan, who's trapped by Wings of Desire. And out wide of the field, Algometer, and then Humphrey Bogart as now they swing into the home straight. Port Douglas leading the way, a length and a half. Cloth of Stars looming up in second place under Mikel Barcelona for France. Then Massart, Idaho down the outside, chased by Tarzan, Ulysses, Deauville.
Come on, Tarzan! Come on, Tarzan! Yes!
Further back, Deauville, Biodynamic, Ulysses was very well beaten, so too Shogun, and Moonlight Magic, who was beaten a long way from home. Tarzan, who lost a shoe this morning in an 11th hour scare. There was blood in his foot. It was a 60-40 chance that he would be allowed to run. Thank goodness they ran him. He won. Tarzan has lifted the Derby. US Army Ranger made him fight all the way, and a big run from Idaho in third.
Dermot Weld has won big races all around the world. He's won the Melbourne Cup twice. He's won all the Irish Classics. He's won the Belmont, the American Derby and the American Oaks. But until today, he had never won the Derby here at Epsom. He has done it to give His Highness the Aga Khan a 5th winner in the race and equal the achievement of his grandfather. It is a huge, huge moment for them. But Pat Smullen, what a ride he's given this horse. Could hardly pull him up afterwards because he stays even further than this. I suspect he will in future. Huge effort from US Army Ranger Ryan Moore doing all he could to try and make up the ground from the back, but Tarzan had too much. He's a horse who's now unbeaten in 3 starts this year, but this by far and away the most important achievement in his career as a racehorse. And he is the champion this year. What a race.
And your dream was right, Claire. He did. He won. Dermot Well's not one to travel horses, and that thinks he's got a big chance. This horse one was maiden in Cork and was impressive in beating Idaho the last day in Epperstown. We thought he might, he won heavy ground twice. We thought the ground would definitely be helped him. US Army Ranger looked like inexperience might have got him a little bit. He was, it took Ryan a little bit of time to get him going. He pulled him out, but the best horse won, as you said, when they went past the winning post, Pat couldn't pull him up.
And there is Dermot Weld, my word. This will give him so much satisfaction, and given the the obvious problems that they had this morning, and big credit to their team and to the farrier as well. He's by Sea the Stars, who himself, of course, won the Derby, is one of the best winners of the Derby. Let's get the reaction of Pat Smullen.
Can I take it down the front? So many people wishing Pat Smullen congratulations. Pat, he's just about to go for red. I'm going to say it. You are a Derby winner. How does that sound?
Unbelievable. And it's what you dream of, you know, and I think more so for me it would have been, you know, for the boss to win this race, it's not fitting, you know, I'm delighted to have ridden the winner for him. He's the world's greatest trainer. And the trouble we had this morning, I didn't know when I was going to get on the plane at all. And the boys have worked absolutely unbelievable to get him here, sound and fit. And it's a whole team effort, I keep saying it. You know, I'm so privileged to be in the position to ride these horses, but we all get along really well. There's a great atmosphere in the yard, and it's a whole team effort, and I'm delighted for the team.
Well said, Pat. And when Ryan came at you on US Army Ranger, could you feel this horse respond to that?
He dug in. I could sense Ryan coming, and I spotted the white face of US Army Ranger. But this horse responded for me, and I knew he'd get to the line well. And the race went perfectly. It was just a little bit rough early on, but got to follow Idaho into the race. I used him as my target. And to be fair to this horse, he's a very good horse, and it's amazing this game. When I got on mid-term, I thought he was going to be my Epsom Derby horse, and but this horse improved out of all knowledge. And the ease in the ground just came at the right time, and I'm absolutely delighted.
Massive congratulations. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, hugely deserved success for Pat Smullen. One of the very best. His Highness the Aga Khan wins another Derby. After Shergar, Sharastani, Kayazi and Sindar, his fifth, he emulates his grandfather all those years ago. And for Dermot Weld, Her Majesty the Queen will appreciate exactly what he's achieved through his career. An international pioneer, a man who's won Melbourne Cups, the first European trainer so to do. The first European trainer to win an American Classic, the Belmont Stakes. This was the one key prize that had eluded him. Casual Conquest came here and was third, and this horse has gone two better. And Dermot Weld was utterly calm and utterly sanguine through all the drama that unfolded this morning when the horse ripped off his shoe, blood was coming from his foot, they had to put hot fermentations on his foot, they had to ice it, put the shoe back on, they enlisted the help of Jim Bolger's farrier, who said, I think he'll be okay, 60-40, gave Dermot the confidence, and this horse has delivered with heart and guts and courage and class. And His Highness the Aga Khan, he loves to own racehorses, but more importantly, he loves to breed top-class racehorses. This is generations and generations of thought and work and effort going into producing a horse that can get past that winning post here on Epsom Downs in front. And Harzand has delivered. And lovely that he should be by the brilliant Sea the Stars. Sea the Stars joining that illustrious list of horses that have won a Derby and then sired a Derby winner. What a great he was, and a wonderfully tough, resolute, game and classy horse to follow him into the winner's enclosure. In the silks of His Highness the Aga Khan, Pat Smullen acknowledges the crowd. Harzand is the hero of the hour.
Great reaction from Pat Smullen afterwards. That is the first Derby for him. He's won pretty much everything else around the world, but they all want to win this race, and he's done it in style.
8 times champion jockey in Ireland. I think, Graham, he's universally admired, Pat Smullen. He's ultra professional, like the man he took over from Mick Kinnan, and a real tough, high-class horse here.
He's a special bloke, Pat Smullen, and he's got a special horse here. We'll go into the tactics and the analysis later on, but it's a 1-2-3 for Ireland, and Pat Smullen, you couldn't find a more sporting, popular jockey, and he knows the value of this because it's for his long-time governor Dermot Weld, and this was one of the precious few jewels in the crown missing from his CV.
One thing's for sure, there were no hiding places. It was a relentless gallop. Here's Claire.
Congratulations. Saying congratulations to His Highness the Aga Khan, who has equalled his grandfather's achievement, your 5th Derby winner. For Dermot Welder first, your reaction first, sir?
Well, obviously this is a major gift for everybody who works with me in this wonderful activity, and to win the 5th Derby for the family of WC. Very historic.
You bred him as well. Let's have a word with Dermot Weld, because you have had so many big race winners in countries all over the world. This is so special, isn't it?
Indeed, I won my first classic with Blue Wind here many years ago. Probably didn't have horses like this to win this great race, but it's wonderful. We had a huge worry this morning because he spread a plate travelling over, and he was a very doubtful runner right up to about an hour ago. But with tremendous help of all my colleagues, my team, we made it.
You have made it. I'll let you join the line up there for the photograph, because this is a triumph of decades of breeding from the Aga Khan. His family line on the dam side of this horse he will have had, you know, since he was a boy. A wonderful moment for them. We're heading off to a short break. When you rejoin us, for the very first time, Her Majesty the Queen will be making the trophy presentation to the Aga Khan, to Dermot Weld, to Pat Smullen, and all those involved with this year's Derby winner, Harzand.
Dubai sponsors Channel 4 Racing.
It wasn't to be for Aidan O'Brien this year, but US Army Ranger in particular, and also third place horse Idaho, have done you proud, Aidan, particularly US Army Ranger with so little experience. We can see why you like this horse so much. He's run superbly well.
Yeah, no, delighted, Nick. Obviously ran a great race, and we were delighted with his run. Delighted for Dermot and Pat and His Highness the Aga Khan. So our horses ran very well, and very happy with them.
Particularly for one so relatively inexperienced.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Listen, he was... he grew up a lot from Chester, but he's still babyish, and like, he's coming, and like, obviously we look forward to seeing him again.
And Idaho, the horse who finished third, am I right in thinking he was a horse last year that you had really high hopes for?
No, he was a nice horse. He won his maiden very nicely at the Curragh, and had a nice run then after that, and he had a very nice run in the 2 trials in Ireland. So I think he was second in the Ballysacks, and I think he was second or third in the Dermstown. So listen, he had very good form.
And both now bound for the Curragh, all being well for the Irish Derby?
Obviously we'd see how they are, Nick, but obviously we'd be thinking something like that, but we'd see how they are really, and we'd make up our mind, I suppose, as we go along really.
They've done you proud, Aidan. Thanks very much indeed.
Pleasure, Nick. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Her Majesty the Queen has just arrived in the winner's enclosure here, making her way onto the trophy presentation stage. She was guided down by Anthony Kane, who retires this year as chairman of Epsom. And the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh will make the presentation this beautiful, beautiful trophy. And actually the Aga Khan will not only receive it as winning owner, but he will also receive a trophy as the winning breeder, having bred Harzand. And see the stars, what an amazing stallion he is now becoming. He stands at the Aga's Giltan stud, and he's now sired an Oaks winner and a Derby winner for his first 3 crops, I think it is. Pat Smullen has weighed in, he's back here as well. And Bernard Cantle there from Investec, waiting to make the presentation with the Queen. Pat was obviously getting huge congratulations when he went back into the jockey's room, and from his fellow Irish jockeys, a great appreciation of this as a moment for him. He's had horses placed in the Derby before, but never won it. Frankie Dettori there, a little dejected. The Wings of Desire didn't run too badly. And Ryan Moore, obviously second on US Army Ranger, well, did everything he could. So His Highness the Aga Khan, having bred this horse, owned him as well, and I mentioned earlier, equals the record of his grandfather, which is something he was desperately keen to do, but you can never make these things happen. But Shergar in 1981, his most famous winner of the Derby, Shahrastani, Kayazi and Sindar following on, and now Harzand, his 2016 successful colt, who will, I am sure, eventually be his latest stallion as well. Mark Weld is alongside me, the son of Dermot Weld. And Mark, I just wanted to ask you, because we're going to see your father come up very shortly, how big an achievement is this for your dad, for the team, for everyone involved in Harzand?
I'd just like to remember one person, my late grandmother today, Claire. This would have been the proudest moment of her life, and none of us would be here only for her and my late grandfather, but this just means so much to everybody. Everybody that helps us, everybody that works with us, all the lads at home, everybody in the office. My mom who's at home as well, and I'm lucky to be here with my brother Chris and my wife and dad, and it's history for us, it's momentous.
And your father started training in 1972. He's done so many things. He's won, I think, on 4 different continent grade or Group 1 races. The Derby is always the magic prize, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we have it now, Claire. We won't have to worry any longer. It's amazing. It's just amazing to look around and you read the roll of honour of the great horses, great trainers, great riders and great breeders from this fabulous race. And that man there, Pat Smullen, what he did today was just a moment of pure magic.
And there are tears streaming down Mark's face as he talks about his grandparents and the background in racing that they have all had. And these are the moments that you have to treasure. It's what you do it for. And Pat Smullen there, such a key part of their team. And Patrick Murray now comes forward. He's the groom who looks after Harzand. He's only 19 years old, and this is the first time he's ever led up a Group 1 runner. And there he is on the stage with the Queen, and he gets the presentation of a lovely memento bag, a leather bag that will be inscribed for him as well. And there, the full lineup of those involved with this year's Derby winner. His Highness the Aga Khan owned and bred him. Patrick Murray looked after him. Pat Smullen rode him. Dermot Weld trained him. And the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh making that presentation.
Well, John Gosden paid the £75,000 supplementary fee, or connections of Wings of Desire paid the fee, and you must be delighted with that effort for a horse who's still so inexperienced.
Yes, that's only his 4th run. He's run a great race. Look, it was a solid race, good pace. He's come from a long way back, as has the second, as has the winner. We were unsuited by the ground, but that's no one's fault. He wants good ground, not soft. But the winner relished it, the second relished it, and the third. But he's run a lovely race, and we couldn't be happy with it.
John, everyone talked about the race going into it, worried about what it might throw up. Gut instinct after the race as to the quality of what we've seen?
I think the front 4 are very nice. Obviously, there's some disappointments further back, but I think needs to be proven to be the winner when he gets his ground is going to be tough to beat anywhere. And US Army Range, you can see how much he's improved from Chester. 3rd horse like us, and we've come on a long way because the horse who was second to us in the Dante was rather a long way back.
Would you go to the Curragh with this horse or give him a break?
I think that the Curragh could be an obvious target for him, absolutely. Lovely galloping track, probably suit him better than anything else.
John, thank you for your time, well done.
Thank you.
Well, we've now got a minute or so to recap on what's just happened. One thing's for sure, it was a truly run race, which we're glad to see, and the best horses won.
We've got Harzand in the green. Fascinating Rock stablemate lost his derby at about this point when barged on the outside. One little nudge there, but he soon recovered.
Yeah, he just tightened up Shogun, who drops back quickly, and who in turn bumped Ulysses, who was in trouble the moment the tempo couldn't in the straight.
Crucial point about this race, why is US Army Ranger in rear for so long? Was it deliberate? Was it circumstance? Either way, he's run a fantastic race from a very, very unpromising position in the straight.
Yeah, I think he set off trying to track Frankie, who jumped off just in front of him. They're both drawn out wide. Ultimately, at a crucial stage, Frankie got a better run through. But Emma said, she made the point, the best horse on the day is definitely one, because he was strong at the day.
And hold-up horses have come to the fore, Emma.
Graham, just here, Cloth of Stars comes there, and I thought looked very promising, dropped away very quickly. Massart definitely didn't stay. Harzand still going well. Ulysses, another one of the leading fancies, now going backwards.
Yeah, Wings of Desire comes out of the pack and runs really well. Look left of picture. US Army Ranger comes wide, strong, very strong, and he gets to with a net, Jim, but he doesn't get any further, and in the end is outstayed.
Yeah, it looks a searing run, and he's done very well. He definitely gets to within a winning position against Harzand, but near the end, the other horse, if you watch him as he passes the line, Harzand, he pricks his ears right on the line. There's probably a bit more.
Key point to make about how all the first 3 are very lightly raced. And the good times are just beginning for this trio.
They average 3.5 runs between them, the first one, going into this race.
And this is a classic Aga Khan pedigree.
Classic. See the Star stands at Giltown. He wasn't the Aga Khan's, but he stands at his stud. Hazariah was a very good horse, at around 7 furlongs and a mile from a good family. And you would expect this horse to be standing at Giltown himself one day.
Well, I had a quick chat with Mark Weld after the presentation, and they're thinking very much Irish Derby next. And that would make sense, Nick, wouldn't it?
And I think they'll take on the runner-up US Army Ranger. I think Aidan O'Brien will fancy his chances. But the way Harzan was drawing away again at the end, Claire, and a Curragh track you'd think could suit him just as well, if not better. I find it very hard to see him reversing the form.
I agree. I think we've seen a class horse. There were all the doubts before the race, even more doubts about Harzan and whether he was actually going to run in the race. But in the end, AB, I think we've seen a bit of a start.
Yeah, I think the best horse won, but the three unexposed progressive colts, and it'll be interesting to see, and the fourth if they all go to the Curragh next time.
We leave you from this historic winners' enclosure where the Aga Khan has made a bit of history for him and Dermot Weld. From the Derby, goodbye.
Dubai sponsors Channel 4 Racing.